Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome to this week's Walking Wednesday. Where am I today? I don't know! I actually don't know the name of this particular area. We came here to visit a certain relative, and that's basically it. I'm not even never near the area. So yeah, just doing some exploration. Essentially making sure that there's some new areas around, because I've not been here before, so everything is new. Not entirely sure where exactly to walk. When I think about it, I found like the only area that isn't next to roads and hills and such. But oh well, it's time to talk about the week, and immediately the most bizarre and one-of-a-kind moments happened this week. So if you remember, last Walking Wednesday was all about the question of why do people delete or privatize, there's a car coming, their gacha videos or their gacha series, their Minecraft series, anything really. Just the shows they do in general, and the myriad of reasons behind that decision, or you know, the ultimate combination of several of them. And it does vary from person to person, and I was going to mention other people. Like, I think I barely glossed over Lady Mania and the Mystic Hills situation, even though that hasn't been privated, that's just been discontinued. But there's different levels to that idea, and that was all about expressing those. And then, of course, I mentioned, I think I mentioned MimiXD particularly, because back in the day, MimiXD privatized My Endless Hope, which was the video that I was in on her channel, and that was for a while the last gacha video that she was going to make. She then did the she did some music videos for a bit, then quit again and made the X Gacha Tuber reacts to blank, mostly from her old videos, which I said in yesterday's stream is actually a great idea. I would encourage any popular gacha tubers, or any gacha tubers in general actually, to go back and watch your old videos. That's a good way of reclaiming the gacha tubers react handle from all those people that just use your names and profiles from the presets that are in gacha for all the different gacha versions, and get all the views from that. Make it that the actual gacha tubers do the reactions. That's a good way to reclaim that. Of course, most popular gacha tubers don't actually watch my videos, especially not the non-gacha ones, so that really doesn't make much of a difference at all in the end. So yeah, not to worry there, but oh well. The point is that MimiXD was the one gacha tuber, or ex-gacha tuber, then turned gacha tuber again, then turned ex-gacha tuber to have done that. And then afterwards, silence. I was in brief contact again with her after My Endless Hope was removed, because I was essentially asking about it, and again, the reason was embarrassment, or trying to think about, oh, I want to continue this, but my editing has evolved so much, which raises the question as to why the old videos never got affected. But I reasoned that was because the modern stuff was what seemed to represent her the most, and because she hadn't posted in a while, those videos of her newer editing matched less in her brain. But I never found out. But essentially, I forgot exactly what I said because this was some years ago, but I managed to persuade her to re-upload the video, and it remains there. So it's back in my playlist of things I'm in voice acting, back at the #1 spot, because the one with the most views, and that is that, really. So yeah, I thought that was the last that we were going to get of that scenario, and then afterwards is when the XGuttuber Reacts to blank started with My Endless Hope, at which point Mimi actually changed her viewpoint and actually decided that she was okay with it, and she was actually impressed at what she did, and she was far less embarrassed than she thought she was going to be, because I mean the plan was to react to the old stuff, cringe a bit, and then carry on. To which again I would have said, don't do the old videos, that makes way more sense. But yeah, I don't know. But so I thought that was the end of that. The situation would never repeat itself, and essentially that's where the MimiXD channel had remained. That was not the case. That same day, I think, after posting that video, Josh did a little bit of a, in the words of Technoblade, investigative journalism, and figured out that basically, so I'm just checking to see which way I can go here. It's the best idea. Yeah. So he did some investigative journalism, by which I mean he just logged onto the MimiXD channel, you know, checked the things I was talking about, and found out that MimiXD had made yet another return back in September. So she was back to making gacha videos, and and that's when he sent me the link to Time Swap, which was a remarkable story about two people with completely opposite lives, 200 years apart from each other, in the years 1824 and 2024 respectively, and but that somehow mysteriously end up swapping their lives around and essentially going through opposite character arcs as a result of that. So yeah, two protagonists, two distinct journeys, and there you have it. So yeah, it really was something, and I'm very glad that Josh sent that to me, because of course I did my usual thing. I downloaded the file, and I was like, well, I gotta get on this. This has been out for months. You know, MimiXD is back. I need to talk about this now. I need to get a move on. Little did I know how right I would end up being. If you were not there during the stream, you missed this legendary moment of which I have been alluding to this whole time. And that moment is the moment when I come to realize that this road... Oh no, it's not a dead end. Okay. I thought it would be. Again, I have not quite seen where exactly I'm going. I was told not to get lost, so try to bear in mind the rough area from which I came. So yeah, as I was saying, the major thing was that sometime during this video, Josh messages again, this time in the live chat, not on Discord, and says that the video that we were watching in that exact moment had been privated during the stream. So I mean, it was happening again, for starters. The same thing that MimiXD did before was happening a second time. But not only that, but also was happening while the video was being reviewed. Now, I've said this before, that gacha review sometimes ends up becoming an archive of sorts, because people grow embarrassed of the videos, not usually because they're featured on gacha review. I did panic that that was the problem, that I was reviewing a MimiXD video and therefore she got embarrassed and tried to remove the video to stop me from reacting to it, which wouldn't have worked anyway because the file was downloaded. The way that I set up Restream videos is I download the file and then I use the add source video feature of Restream and actually then play the video from my computer itself. It saves me on having to deal with internet lag and echoing. But yeah, it also managed to mean that I am now in possession of the only working copy and original file of Time Swap by MimiXD that exists. And I'm not sure quite what to do with that. I mean, there's internet archivists. Maybe it's worth putting it on archive.org. But I'm still surprised because again, I don't know why it was deleted. I did after the stream finished, I messaged MimiXD specifically and said, like, is this because of my video? So I hope you know that we're actually really enjoying this right now and we're having a great time. I mean, we're cracking jokes, obviously, and as usual, pointing out some of the inconsistencies or logical fallacies that you find in almost every single gacha video. But that was it, really. It was one of the most tame and fun experiences on Gacha Review. And suddenly, during the middle of that, we have this moment where it seems like that passion that was generated, or that enjoyment was generated from the video that was the source of it all, was not shared. Which I can understand. I mean, we're all our worst critics as artists, like I said last week. So we always find our own flaws much harsher than much harsher on our own flaws than anyone else would be. Under most circumstances, if you have haters or whatever, then that's something else entirely. But yeah, but I didn't get a response, so I guess she must have just logged on, privated it, logged off again, and by the time that I finished reviewing, she was long gone. She's not very active on Discord, so I'm not entirely sure when exactly I will end up seeing that again. So, yeah, that happened. I've gone in a full circle, I think. If I see a bench during the far distance, yep, I've gone full circle. Guess that means I don't have to worry about getting lost. That being said, there's nothing but hills in this direction. I'm going to try over here. I mean, you got to laugh. I mean, I don't expect Gacha Review to become an archive of something in real time, because normally it takes a while. Like, Pineapple Party Gacha privated Beauty is Pain like a year afterwards, or that again for reasons that I still am not sure about. Then also the other times when people have had their channels actually terminated, like in the case of Taming the Bad Boy, or I don't know, really a lot of things could be the reason. But yeah, like I said before, Gacha Review ends up has got one more thing to add to the roster. And it's weird because that's one of the only videos that was removed. Some of the music videos are gone too. So again, it is all the recent stuff. It seems MimiXD is stuck in a loop of being harsh on her own editing versus like the old stuff before she learned the techniques. Which, I mean, I thought that cycle was somewhat broken after My Endless Hope. I was hoping after that X-Gachu video that I watched that she would realize that they ultimately the goal is always to improve, and if she decides to continue, then that's all you really want. And the editing was still spectacular on the video. Like, we didn't have many issues in regards to technicals or anything like that. Not partly issues at all with what we found. It was mostly a fun ride with a few missing gaps here and there. Maybe like a couple of editing errors and stuff that might have like flown under the radar and such, but nothing that you wouldn't like expect or nothing you wouldn't understand. So it's just one of those things that's I'm still I wish that like I talked to her like a bit more. I mean, we never really corresponded that much. It was mainly professional. You know, I was taken on as a voice actor. Occasionally, I would have questions to do with, you know, a certain character or a certain idea, just to make sure that I properly understood. That was like the one time we spoke on voice was actually because I had a complex query. And it's like a simple, okay, answer this question. All right, thank you for your time. Off you go. And other times it's like, you know, sorry about cancelling this project. You know, you're a very talented voice actor. I will call you for some other stuff or something, which did happen because the original project that I was supposed to be a part of was cancelled. I was then called for Mindless Hope, and that's how it went down. Because I think the timeline is right. Because Time Swap wasn't voice acted, so yeah, you never, I don't know. It could have happened, it could have not. But yeah, it's but like I don't know. I managed to stave that off, and then I was like, okay, well, great, glad I could help, and then carried on because I didn't want to, you know, insist too much. But yeah, like now I'm thinking, if this is like a repeated insecurity, I could have probably helped out a lot more if I'd known that it would get to this to this point where it happens again, and it will, I mean, potentially continue to happen. Like I worry, because like, I mean, there's a chance that MimiXD can grow out of that. It's not like she's not like she's very old or anything. I mean, she's quite young, so and has obviously been handling a fan base to a degree that like her own preset was put into the game that she didn't use that often, to be perfectly honest, because that was like around the time that she quit the first time. It just seems strange because I mean she's one of the gachibas that I can understand the following behind, because based on her current work, which I say current work, I mean like the most recent projects over the past few years, like not only is she a fantastic editor, or at least, you know, coordinates that with the editors. I can't remember exactly how much was shared around with that process, but also an excellent scriptwriter, like, and storyteller. Like, she has those things down. Normally with gacha videos, what I tend to say is that what you would find, especially back in the day, but still now, is that there's either people who know how to do these great visuals or something, but their story is very lackadaisical. Is not very well thought out. Like, that's the part they struggle with, because gacha tends to attract you know, artists who want to be part of a community or want to improve their art skills particularly. And so when people try to do mini movies and such and not copy each other, even if they do copy each other, they don't realize that they're copying stuff that is built upon a foundation that is a lot to be desired. So yeah, it's I don't know. So but yeah, and then you have the people. I guess I was at the other extreme where the only thing I could do was my storytelling. That's why I always say to people, focus on the story, even if your editing is abysmal, because people will still enjoy it. I said before, Mutant Girl is not exactly, you know, the most beloved gacha series of all time, but the people who have been watching it, they've stuck around for years. That's more than any 2019 gacha series could have expected at the time. But yeah, so I always say, go with the story because that's what people are there for in the first place. And then there's obviously the people who are just starting out who don't have either of them. That's normally the three versions you have. Mimi XD has both. Mimi XD is sort of like the ideal combination of skills that you would want for a gacha tuber. So yeah, that's why that's why, like, in the moment I was like, my goodness, what is going on? Whoa! But yeah, now that I've like processed it and stuff, it's like, it's tragic. I mean, yeah, people it seems like the most talented and skilled people tend to have the most insecurities, but obviously not everyone is able to work through those in order to like see their own value. And I guess because Mimi XD has been gone for so long, a lot of that fan base has dwindled. Like the return to gacha stuff, I think the video only had about 1,000 views stuff, which is nothing to scoff at, but as far as Mimi XD goes, maybe that was part of it. Like, it wasn't perceived to be as good. Honestly, it's more of a YouTuber thing. No, the YouTube algorithm needs people to produce content all the time in order to stay relevant. I mean, I can understand that, you know, it's not like I'm producing Mutant Girl episodes every week or anything, so I space out the stuff that I do with Gacha Review or with 5 Years Later or blah blah blah, you know, just to make sure to give myself time to actually develop stuff and also work on some things that aren't YouTube related, like other job applications or other writing or really anything. So that's why I switched to live content in the first place, or for the most part, so I wouldn't have to spend so much time editing, but I could still keep up with the rhythm that my channel was started growing at from 2020 onwards. But yeah, with Mimi XD, of course, that was the same time that things stopped, probably due to, again, insecurities and such. So yeah, it's one of those situations, I guess. But yeah, I want to hopefully, I mean, if he's not active on Discord, I'm gonna have to try and find some other way to reach out, just to make sure that she's okay and knows that she's appreciated. And yeah, people like our friends with Mimi XD that watch this video, you know, drop her a message around of all the good that she's done and how far she's come. Maybe I have to actually go ahead and maybe I should go ahead and watch some of the old stuff. I was hesitant about returning to Mimi XD so soon in case something happened again, but yeah, I want to see that journey. I'd like to see how gacha tubers evolved, especially the really popular ones. So yeah, I guess that'll be that. I've once again made a whole gacha video about one specific topic, but yeah, I mean, there's other stuff that happened during the week, of course. More 5 Years Later came out, more videos like Angel Edits. Once again, we come back to another popular gacha tuber. What else? Oh, Zelda, of course. So yeah, KW has finally been able to publish The Legend of Zelda: Shadows War, which is on the KW The Series of Live channel, and yeah, that's a project that she's been working on for a while now, and reason being because yeah, it was like it was a full mini movie, and a lot of like other like more intense editing went into that, like employing some of the stuff from my tutorials, some advice from Bon, some script writing consultation from Aiden. It was a very collaborative effort that I was, for the most part, not a part of. I was a voice actor in the video, which, by the way, yeah, KW's first voice acted directing experience, and I can say firsthand that it is definitely a great step forward. That like beyond the levels of what most people starting out with voice acted stuff. Even some of the ones that have continued, because on one hand you might have like directors who are too shy to redirect or recast. Meanwhile, both of those things had to happen for KW right off the bat. Like there was no illusions of like, oh, am I doing the right thing? It's like, no, this is my artistic vision, and I will portray it forward. And yeah, obviously, once again, logical fallacies aside or anything like that, typical gacha stuff. Another really fun ride. There's like 2 very solid entries as far as gacha review this week. Not to mention, of course, that the light goal was achieved yesterday, which yeah, I said that if that video got the original video got 10 likes, trying to help KW out here to make sure that the video performs well. But if that video got 10 likes, then we would make a Legend of Zelda and Dora the Explorer crossover, because they weirdly fit together as far as adventure stuff goes. So yeah, that was the video now has 11 likes in less than 48 hours. So there you go. Congrats, KW. We shook on it on camera, so it's gonna happen. Not necessarily immediately, because there's other stuff I want to get done, especially before Christmas happens. And KW has also got a record to say this last major project in 2023 that she's going to be working on. So yeah, sometime in the new year, probably. So yeah, looking forward to that scripting session. Means I've got to rewatch Dora for the first time in 15 years, maybe? I'm not sure. When was the last time I saw it? I saw Dora the episode one time when I was over at a friend's house in Spain, which is weird seeing Dora dubbed into Spanish and teaching people English. But there you go. So yeah, some fun stuff at the end there. And I'm glad that KW acknowledges what Mimi has unfortunately not been able to, that the work is not perfect, but it is definitely something enjoyable. In the case of Mimi, far more than that even. So yeah, hopefully that will clear itself up. Maybe I'll get a response, maybe I won't. You never know, maybe after this video comes out, the time slot will magically reappear. All bets are off at this point. I don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, or what brought on the decision to private it in the first place 3 months after it was published. What was going on behind that scenes if it wasn't my review? Because otherwise you could have told me. But yeah, nothing is certain in this life, other than the fact that I've been going on for half an hour, and lunch should have happened. I said, hey, we're going to do lunch first, or we're going to do Walking Wednesday. I was like, yeah, I'll do Walking Wednesday, so I'm going to get back quickly. So please leave a like or dislike, because your opinion matters. Subscribe to us already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.